Yeah, like the good stuff, the stuff we want to know, like that you played drums in high school or middle, sorry, whatever school, sorry, that you played
Yeah, but
drums. Okay, that's the cool shit that like people sometimes just really
Well,
would love to know.
our first interview together, both you and me, was Nunzio, and he's an engineer.
Yeah,
So
it was
like
brilliant.
we're
yo,
trying to interview people
Anyway,
who got
Nunzio,
like knowledge to spread
yeah,
and like
like
a
to me, it's
plentiful,
like you're like
bountiful story to tell the world.
and the most attractive thing to me about you as a person is that your energy is what it is, being this long in the game. That's like that's
Mm-hmm.
nifty. I can learn from that
Mm-hmm.
as a person struggling with jadedness in corporate Americas and all kinds of stuff.
yo, I think that to be a person like that, like it's a beautiful thing. It's one thing to figure out that you want to understand what this culture is about. Like a lot of people don't realize it. Like a lot of people see it as just music, right? At one point in time, rock and roll was a culture. Like to live a rock and roll life, you had to have a certain vibe. They found out that that shit would either kill you quickly or have you fucking strung out on some crazy drugs. So it adjusted, it moves different. So rock and roll is totally different from now. But hip hop and rap, like rap is a form of hip hop. Rap is a subculture. Or rap is the rap that we listen to now is a subculture of what the original culture was. It's what the new generation interprets it as, and that's what's going to happen. It's either going to be diluted or it's going to be there's going to be some sort of power behind it where it's going to push it forward, where it's going to be some sort of machine behind it. So we're in a place where the music that we make, the things that we've been through in order to make the music, like from being like the whole battle rap, like it like not even battle rap, like this battle rap became another subculture, like of hip hop. It was another branch on the hip hop tree, and it's always gonna. And rap is a branch on the hip hop tree. DJing, somebody who's a historian, that's a branch on our tree. Like it's a beautiful thing that we need these things to keep the culture moving forward. So when people speak to me, like I have a beautiful friend who is a client of mine, and she's just watching, like, I guess I forgot the name of it. It's on Netflix about hip hop or whatever, and she's asking me who's my top five, and she doesn't understand how extensive a top five is. You say top five from this era, this era, this era, this era.
Yeah.
You say top five of all time, top five against this person. There's so many different subgenres that you have to play with that to do it during text would be very hard to figure out. And I said, listen, once you finish watching whatever movie you're watching, tell me what context you want to talk about top five, and we can do that. And that's where I have to deal, especially in my neighborhood now, from Bed-Stuy to Flatbush or anything else. When I speak to people, I have to say, okay, how involved are you into this culture? Like, are you an observer? Are you one of those people who will come and watch it, and as soon as shit get hard, you run out of it? Or are you in it to be in it? So I take what we do as a person. I try I don't think I can be jaded, because I can never. To be jaded means you're bored. I think that I find new ways to understand other people's understanding, if that makes sense, to understand people's understanding of
Oh,
how
I like
they
that.
perceive hip hop. And I don't know. I just think that, I'm always interested in seeing how people move and how they think. And I think that influences how I can approach a song. Because when you first start, you approach a song this way. Then you figure out, maybe I can approach it this way. Then you're like, oh, I can approach it this way. I can approach it that way. And then you find out that you can approach it from an infinite amount of different ways. And as long as you have your lens open wide enough, you'll be able to see that different perspective. If that makes sense.
That made a lot of sense to me. I do not know if it made sense to other people, so I don't know if that's me being a
Of
bad
course, it made
interviewer
sense.
reading it, but I followed that flawlessly. Because I mean, I like to marinate on things. I like to stew things in my mind and try to hit it from every angle. And it's just the longer you think about an individual topic or a concept, the more that you allow. I don't know. I mean, granted I smoke a lot of weed, so my brain tends to allow itself to be more wandery than, say, I don't know, other people's. But I empathize 100% with the concept of what you're doing. I think it makes you probably a better artist, to be honest.
I do believe it does.
Like, but not just that. Like, there's a depth and a consistency to how you speak that like transcends time, right? Because you sounded like this in that 2013 video. I'm going to assume that as life has gone on, that you're a pretty consistent.
I can testify that he sounded like that in 2000.
So with that, it's like the only way to maintain like that sense of self within the adapting world.
99 and 2000.
Because that means you evolved with the world. It's the only way that you could be yourself in the current world, and you can even hear it in your music. It's amazing.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I was laughing at what Flacko. I mean,
I felt that
Flacko was saying, like, this is who we like. The thing that shaped me, and I've grown. So we was gonna get back into the high school situation.